Okay team, after watching the BODGroups tutorial, I noticed that there's not much instruction on the food tracking feature, which I love about this app. So I'm going to try to show you how to use that here. Now food tracking is really important to help you to see what you actually eat so you can be aware of what goes in your mouth and make adjustments to align with your nutrition plan, which is another feature that I'll show you here. So the first thing is to get into the group from the BODGroups app on your phone by selecting groups at the bottom of your screen. And once in your group, I want you to notice the tabs just under the group title that includes feed, progress, invites, participants, and files. I want you to select files and note the listing of resources that I loaded for you there. These can be downloaded and printed, or just know that they're here for your reference. We're going to dig into the Lift 4 nutrition guide, so open that with me. There's a ton of info here, starting with the workout plan, which is not our focus, but it's worth reading if you haven't tried an at-home weightlifting plan with Beachbody On Demand. So scroll down to page 5, that's where I'm at. The simplest way I've found to tackle healthy eating is through the portion control containers from the Portion Fix nutrition plan. This really works for me, so I'll give you a crash course on how to do it and ask that you try it with me for a month, okay? Great. So on this page, all you need to do is find your current weight in one of the plans at the top of the page. Notice that each colored container has a number of servings that you are to target for each day according to your weight. So in Plan B, for example, you'll see that you're to target 4 servings of veggies, 3 fruits, 4 protein servings, and so on. So find your plan and write down your portions. One more thing here. There's more food here than you think, so just trust me on this. You're not going to go hungry following this plan, but you need to choose the right kinds of foods, and that's what I'm going to show you next. So again, later go back and read up on the pages that we're skipping here. We've moved down to page 12. But what we skipped over is information on the performance line of supplements, and I think it's really helpful. We use the Recover all the time. In fact, Angie has the vegan chocolate for lunch almost every day because it gives her a clean vegan protein source for her plan. We also use the Hydrate instead of Gatorade type drinks, which have a ton of sugar and junk in it, to replenish our electrolytes from sweaty activities. And the Performance Energize is very popular because it offers a clean caffeine source to replace your calorie-laden foo-foo coffee drinks or the poisonous Monster Energy type drinks or just soda. Energize is also a great pre-workout, especially if you exercise first thing in the morning, because it helps you to wake up and get after it without feeling all the jitters of other caffeine supplements or the crash that comes after using such common caffeine boosters. Anyway, these products are legit, and we found great benefit to having them in our routine. So skip down to 12 with me. That's what I've got here. It shows the food list. Now this is a sampling of the real foods that you should be eating in each of the categories. Of course, this list isn't exhaustive, so please ask if you have some questions. Now, just so you know, if you don't have the colored containers, I can show you how to get them. But it's really simple. Just know that the green and purple are 1 cup, the red is 3/4 cup, yellow is a 1/2 cup, blue is 1/3 of a cup, and the orange is 2 tablespoons. So there's no calorie counting or deprivation of the food groups here. You just need to follow the portion sizes for your plan. This next page is a list of proteins and carbs. Notice that some of the foods we might consider veggies are actually carbs, like sweet potatoes and beans and corn. Now again, this is not an exhaustive list, and some carbs here could be categorized as vegan proteins like the lentils or quinoa and some beans. But just follow the plan here and ask if you've got some questions. The mission really is just to get you focused on eating real food versus boxed and packaged foods with many ingredients on the food label. These foods listed here are the ingredients list. Do you follow me? So make yourself familiar with these lists. Highlight the foods that you like or are already eating regularly so shopping and meal prep can become easier. All right, this last page covers the smaller portion categories, but they are not to be ignored. You need to eat your healthy fats. Real cheese, not Kraft Singles or Velveeta, nuts, and natural peanut butter are absolutely part of this plan. So, all right, get familiar with these things. Like I said, mark it up with stuff that you already like or are willing to try to help build your food listing for shopping and meal planning. So let's go back to the app now so I can show you how to track your food. All right, so here I'm back in the group and I selected tracking down here in the bottom of your screen. Every day you can log your exercise, your food, the water, your weight, etc. But for our purpose right now, I want you to track your food. So where it says meal plan here in the middle, I want you to select that and choose the portion fix. That's what I've got on here. I don't have a screenshot of every move here, so I trust that you can figure this out. Now I want you to edit your remaining portions, so select this edit and load these containers with the portions from the list that you wrote down earlier that we discussed from page 5 on the nutrition guide. Alright, so you just are going to load your portion quantity for each category per your plan right onto there and then save it. Okay, does that make sense, I hope? Alright, so now you have a meal and you select meal 1 like I've done here, for example, and this screen pops up. So you list what you ate here at the top. You just write this in and then fill in the portions you used to log it. So my breakfast, this is very common for me every day, is the Shakeology with spinach, bananas, frozen strawberries, almond milk, and some peanut butter. So I do 2 cups of spinach, so that's 2 servings. I have a banana and some frozen strawberries, so that's another 2 containers. My protein is the Shakeology. I don't have any of these other things in here, and I'm claiming 1 almond milk is what satisfies this, and the peanut butter. So then I log that, and Shazam, you go back to your remaining portions, and you can see what you have left for the rest of the day. So I think this is really helpful because at the end of the day, you might feel like a snack, and you can check here to see what containers you need to fill and eat accordingly. Every time you eat it, something, you track it. It's the only way that you'll actually know what to eat in a day. It takes the mystery out of the question, why aren't I losing weight? Well, duh, I ate a sleeve of Girl Scout cookies and those aren't on the food list, and I probably didn't track it. Or maybe if you're like me, you traditionally eat way too many carbs and not enough veggies. So this exercise might seem like a drag at first because it's new, but I'm telling you that once you get the feel of it and practice for a while, you'll know what a portion of protein looks like and what constitutes a carb serving without having to measure every single item. But until then, measure your portions and then track it. Alright, so the common question is, well, what about treats like cake or ice cream or whatever's your thing? The simplest way I can say is that most of those things will fall into the carb category. So just log it there and write what you have. We're not trying to be Nazi about, breaking down junk food or whatever. But if as long as you're counting it to something and you're mindful of it, mindful of what goes in your mouth, mindful of the choices that you're making, I just promise you that it will help you to make better choices. And that's really the whole purpose of this tracking exercise. All right, so there you go. There's your crash course on tracking in the food app on BODGroups. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks a bunch.